definitely come up with you can just kind of, yeah, all kinds of woo-woo stuff, Zainab. Like, here's what I don't understand. Is it just fun? Okay, all right. It's just fun. All right, woo-woo. All right. That sounds cool. All right. Well, in that case, let's no, well, why would you woo-woo that into your consciousness is what I want to know because I think that that's the thing. I try not to I've been really careful not to try to shut down my subconscious. Like when something happens, um when I feel something, when I think something, like I had a bad habit. I think a lot of people have a bad habit of just kind of brushing certain thoughts and feelings aside instead of like really being curious. Why did I think that? Why did I feel that? What is it about um what is it well, I mean I'm trying to think of like an example. Um I don't know. Like what was a time that you felt like you had some kind of a thought or a feeling and your immediate knee-jerk reaction was to try to just like kind of be dismissing it. Maybe you never do that. Maybe that's why you're like a guru lady and you just kind of have these okay. Yeah. I don't know, y'all. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Right. 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 Yeah. Right. You joined a church for a while, right? I know. It's because you're in North Dakota. It's because you're in North Dakota. That's all. I knew it. I knew it. All right. He's very guru. Okay, all right. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I love Carl. Go ahead. Right. Right. Yeah. He is. Yeah. He is. Said like a powerful human being. I mean, that's kind of. You have to have that. You have to have that. I know it's Carl. I get that, but yeah. But it's okay. So what you're really doing is you're trying to explore like how could this manifest? How could the Carl Jung kind of, he's saying this, but yeah, how would this work exactly? Right. Okay. All right. Now I'm with you. Oh, this is very cool. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely think it has to do with resonance. I think that but I also think that like the mechanism might not necessarily need to be like beyond our perception in the sense that we know that we're impacted by the people around us. Like for example, if somebody in a room yawns, then like everybody yawns, you know? Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's what I'm saying is you there might not necessarily be I don't know if Carl Jung really was saying that we're connected in the sense that like it transcends beyond our five senses in terms of our ability to like what's the word to transmit to have an impact on yeah. Oh, I see. Oh, so okay. So we're carrying something inside of us that we share that we are not aware that we share. Because we wouldn't be aware that we share it. I mean, we wouldn't be consciously aware. How would our subconscious speaks through emotions, so it can't like, it can't dictate to us exactly. Oh, I have an encoded message that all of humanity, you know, like we might be living it, like it might be the Sermon on the Mount. You know what I mean? Ah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, what? I mean, I'm listening to all these. No, 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 no. You were just in the beginnings of your brainstorm, you know, right? Yeah, of course. Come on. Man, I have so many weird ideas. Yeah, okay, all right, good. I guess. I don't know. You remember the discussion about like, oh, I need to get a job that uses my brain, like all the discussions, and I'd be talking to you like, what are you talking about? Saying like, we've had 4.5 years of every now and then we have to come in here and do kind of like my wife, giving you guys a pep talk on why you need to feel like you can. You're also in this country for one baby of America.
By the shore, holding on, diving in into my motion. Hear me cry, tears are falling from the sky. Don't give in. Sometime we'll get up and fly. The waves
I'm kind of just gonna make it happen. Right. Okay. I'm sorry. Well, this guy. Go ahead. Oh, that's so great. That was like my grandmother. against that also for myself. Like I never got into it. Like, that's a bad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm so over the past year, I've consciously so yeah, having greater understanding and clarity of how to navigate reality, that's the key to that. And a lot of people don't realize. And you know what? You just let it go. You know? Well, that was easier for me. Next time, you know, they didn't look because it perfectly like feeling it, because it was like I was not understanding. They're not understanding. People can't understand. They kind of know what it is, right? So like, why are they calling people? Because they were right. 5 years, you know, like I understand what you're saying. Because those aren't your people. You're our people. Yeah, we call them our people. Go ahead, yeah, rough. I told you at the time I would call you in like 4 months or so. Once the beard is moving. To the best of my knowledge, the people that accepted his money were just very, very kind of in his kind of core. So that was but like the well, he published a project about doing weed. Did you know that? That was one of them. The weird thing was that Elizabeth and not so much Rebecca. Rebecca, I think Rebecca. But Elizabeth, she wouldn't confront Jimmy about it. about some of these publications, and she was the one that I was really hoping that was really powerful. So that's when we were really worried about. Well, I mean, somebody supervised the school basically, but it goes to a manic episode of publishing science stuff in the science guy who's done it, and we can't change where the faculty is leaving the room with the phone. So we don't really have any choice but to step in. That could be a lawsuit. Really, really, really not fair. You get to social media, you're immediately in a regular. So it's like, you know, it's not like a local school. It's not well, that's it. No. You're just acknowledging reality. Yeah. So no, that was the whole point of We Equal School was to try to help kids get to a point of agency. And then like the reason why we wanted to build an app was because we wanted that agency to not lead to everybody leaving because that's what happened last time. Basically, if they go through 3 months of 12 projects, like this is uh, uh, 12 weeks of public speaking and actually having a novel idea and then bringing it into creation and presenting it like it's a startup incubator. We modeled it off Y Combinator, you know that, right? So it's like this builds agency. If you go through that, you don't really need it anymore. Like especially if you did it well, right? Like Yusuf got that training, you know. He got a lot of that training. Like he didn't really need We Equal School anymore. Mm. Every breath you take. Yeah, that's right. Every move you make. That's that's Paul. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's not because there's something wrong with you. That's because there's something wrong with the system. Yes. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not, and yeah. You should. I mean, your emotions should be validated. Yes, and validating your emotions. You're right. Yes. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And you're brilliant. So the only question is like, what is no, not necessarily. Like, okay, so after our house fire, the girls were still doing week with school, but the projects involve things like how do you recover from trauma, and also like how to like review these insurance documents to try to like keep up with like we were talking to them about our insurance policies and kind of like the nature of how that works and like what like we weren't sure if we were gonna like get paid out at first. Like it was like, and we were just because like it just hadn't even happened yet. Like it wasn't something we were concerned about, but like we were just talking to our daughters about everything that we were doing because we had never had a house fire before and we were going through it, right? That was the thing that they should have been doing because they were involved. Like it was there, it was their life, it was what was happening, right? And so there's a certain like and then there's school, and school is totally contrived. It's almost I think it's very damaging because it's basically it's basically teaching people to ignore their emotions and not develop an intuition for understanding what's important. You're not learning what's important. You're not allowed to there's two things that you need in order to learn agency. You have to make decisions about what to do. And then you have to evaluate the outcome for yourself. Both of those things are outsourced to the teacher in school. So so it's an agency removal strategy. Yeah. But you knew that when I first met you, you just you just but you had to get a job. No, you had to get a job. But it's okay, but it's better to not like don't distort your perception of reality just because it sounds weird and it might be inconvenient. It's like make sure that you're aware. Yeah, it's like some people will go through the trouble of like lying to themselves because they think that that'll make like the frustration go away. Don't don't do. I know. Thank God. Like, oh yeah, don't do it. It's just have a sense of humor about it. Make sure you keep like make lots of jokes. You could be a stand-up comedian on the side. You know, you know, be like, yeah. So I'm a I'm a teacher. Um, I'm also a anti-public schooling advocate. Uh, I believe that what I'm doing is potentially quite damaging. But I have to do it for the money because, well, shit divorce, like, I mean, like, oh, you could just totally nail it. It would just, shit, it writes itself. Should have been recording this. Yeah, you should do it. It would be hilarious. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, you should. It doesn't make any sense. It's yeah, yeah. Well, it is kind of like, it's very, I think one of the things that made it so bad was like uh, the system for trying to bring economics into the incentive process for the schools through standardized testing. the No Child Left Behind. What that actually did was it basically started constraining teachers around a single metric. And so that ended up being gravity that would pull the teacher away from being flexible to actually personalizing learning to the students. You can't personalize learning to the student if you're literally, by doing that, you're essentially going against the objective function that determines the money that goes to the school and the salary to the teacher, right? Like that's you just can't have you just can't. You just can't. You have to just find good, virtuous people to try to mentor and guide kids, and then you have to get out of their fucking way. That's what you have to do. And unfortunately, there aren't a lot of people that have a lot of wisdom right now, um, because a lot of people are so addicted to their phones. Like it's so sad. Like I see just parents staring at their phones everywhere I go and ignoring their children. That's what I see. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not, I mean, I told you about the kids that you can tell their faces don't respond, right? Their faces don't respond. It's like, their face isn't working. This should, we should all be like terrified, but nobody's thinking about it, you know? I think maybe this is how animal rights activists feel, where they're like maybe they like really can like sense and appreciate the emotions of animals in ways that a lot of people are just kind of desensitized to, perhaps, um, because they can't express themselves because they can't create a YouTube channel, right? You know, you know what I mean? So we're just not seeing it, right? You know, it's like, oh no, maybe. But yeah, I think that that's part of what I think that you could do incredible things, um, if you like. We just need some more time to kind of talk through like what your exit strategy would be. But you know, because I mean, you could do lots. Your big problem is that you could do lots and lots of different things. You know, you're incredible. Like you have a gravity to you. You're very likable. Um, what else?